Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a best of 3 from DongRaeGu and Stats here on Everdream, the latter edition from DreamHack Fall. Top right hand corner, it is the red Zerg player DongRaeGu, and in the bottom left we've got ourselves a blue Protoss player, Stats. Two incredible players, you guys. These two have incredible resumes on Liquipedia. If you haven't seen them, go search Stats on teamliquid.net and go search DongRaeGu. You can just type in DRG. Team Liquid knows who that it is. So, man, I'm really excited for this Sunday series today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so, because it is 100% StarCraft 2 content from now on. No Brood War on this channel. I split it off. Okay. Alright, so one gate expand here from Stats based on the gateway placement. 16, 18, 17 here from DongRaeGu, who is he my favorite? Is he my favorite Zerg player at this point? I kind of feel like he is, man. I like Cyril, but man, DongRaeGu, he's just so fun. He's more like Cyril's a robot, man. He'll just kill you clinically, and DongRaeGu will kill fools with less clinical ways of doing it. You know what I mean? He's just more fun with how he approaches the game, I feel like. I don't know. A little more swarmy than Cyril can be. It's hard. It's hard to compare. But anyway, very, very standard opening in the opening stages of this match. What I like about the Sunday series is sometimes you get a short game in there where it's like, oh, shoot, we got a 12 pool, and he's pulling the drones, what? Or like the Protoss cannon rushes or something like that. We usually don't get those in the matches that I cast in the weekday because I'd like those to be longer macro ones. Although I haven't done a sneaky twofer in some time, so, maybe I'll sneak one up on you guys sooner rather than later, but you'll never know when it's coming. You'll be waiting for it, and then one day it will strike. Depth on the way, nothing crazy there. Warp gate on the way as soon as the Cyber Core finishes, nothing weird there. Speed's coming in from DongRaeGu. Third base timing is like now? Yep, I saw that click. I'm seeing these red clicks over here, so the Lings are here to knock the probe off the spot. So it can't block the third, and the timing is going to be just perfect here. Workers can't do this as well as, I don't know, say a Reaper can, if it was a Terran going up against DongRaeGu today. Third base goes down at 2:30 on the nose. Queen injects. Good Queen. You too. Oh, nope, tumor first, right? Right. Tumor first, then injects. Creep spread more important than injecting at this stage of the game. Which says a lot, man. It says so much about how important creep spread is to these Zerg players that they will go ahead and delay and inject on their natural base to get a creep tumor down first. Adept trying to cruise on up here and see what's what. Just recognizing, is there a Roach Warren? Is there a fast lair? Is speed not being researched for some weird reason? Nope. Everything is very normal here. There's nothing DongRaeGu can try to do to kill Stats anytime in the next 5 minutes or so. I guess there could be a Ling Flood eventually. And we kind of have seen that from DongRaeGu, actually. So I'm thinking maybe you do need to worry about that a little bit, but that's why you have your wall. That's why you maybe throw up a shield battery here at some point, just for safety's sake. Overlord comes in, sees the Oracle on Zeve, and by golly, of course we have an Oracle name ready to go. Why would we not have an Oracle name for this? So Phoenix first, then Oracle. But the Oracle's name is Auntie Anne. For every kill that she gets, she makes a pretzel for each person in her army, including the player. Oh, that's so nice. Auntie Anne. Such a wonderful person. These Lings are like give me an epileptic seizure, man. Look at these guys. Spore Crawler pops. Just because, you know, there's an Oracle on the way and a Phoenix. Queen saving that Overlord's life, as you do. Oracle swinging on into, I don't know what you're expecting to do with this Oracle, maybe. Killing a creep tumor actually kind of feels like it'd be a nice thing. Ah, there's enough Zerglings here to make these Adepts think twice about sticking around. Well, that one's dead. And that one's dead. And the third base is delayed. Okay, and a probe's gonna die. This is nice. Little handful of Lings. These could be drones, yes. But DongRaeGu is at 44 workers, so he's totally fine. Yeah, this Oracle hasn't even kicked on its cannon yet, or the beam, rather. Yeah, it has to come down here. Oh, it has to come down here and help solidify the third? Maybe not. I mean, that's 4 Adepts, and that is not enough Lings for that group. You need about 4 Lings per Adept. and that is not 4 lings per adept. That's like 12 lings. It's kind of close. But with the Oracle in the mix too, it's just not happening. So the lings are, man, at the very least, they're going to kill his probe. These lings are so annoying. DongRaeGu, I love you so much. You're so good at this game. The aggression. The aggression is what I like from Zerg players. I know that Cero plays the game defensively, which is how the game is designed. Zerg is intended to have creep and defend, and then counterattack and overwhelm. But I've always appreciated Zergs who are willing to get out there and get after it, you know? Meanwhile, yeah, that adept thing should have been a bit of a tell. There are roaches popping now. And the lings are going to have to do what they can. It is Resonating Glaive's time, however. Going to kill one of these queens. And then shade on up into the natural base, where there are more lings and there are roaches now. But the adepts are not having a great time against these roaches at all. Only 2 drones have died. Okay, 5 drones have died. It's getting up there a little bit. 9, 10 into the main base. Oh, this is brutal. And, oh, rolling back into the third 2. 11 drones down is starting to get started to be a bit of a problem here for DongRaeGu. He does hold it off. 13 drones have gone down in exchange for 12 adepts. Resources lost here. It's definitely favoring stats. So it's not an all-in because there's a third base behind this, but it was definitely intended to harass the ever-loving crap out of DongRaeGu here. But he got his roaches out. He survived for the most part. He is producing 6 more drones at a time to replace the ones that he lost just recently. And yeah, stats is ahead. Looking very good here. Stats terrifying, abjectly terrifying Protoss player in every possible way. And I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Stats won this thing. I wouldn't be shocked if DongRaeGu did either. I think both of these players are very, very, very good at StarCraft. And as a result, I have no interest in betting on StarCraft. It seems like a total waste of time. It's so hard. It is so hard to know who's going to come out on top in any particular series or any particular match. 4th base coming up from DongRaeGu. Feels a little bit late, but when you're facing down that giant adept attack and they get some damage on you, it can't feel very safe to toss down that hatch. You know what I mean? Lings rolling into the third where there isn't actually a cannon. We got our Sentry Immortal setup over here. Sentry Immortal, probably some Stalkers mixed in eventually here, but definitely just pumping Immortals off of that Robo with detection off of the other one right now, just in case there's Lurkers, which currently there are not. It looks very... Oh, Tunneling Claws coming in from DongRaeGu. I like it. I like the concept quite a bit. I haven't seen Tunneling Claws in a ZVP in what feels like approximately forever. So I'm interested to see where this goes. No Hydralisk Den, no Lurkers. Although the Tunneling Claws... I mean, if you're preparing for Lurkers with Observers, guess what also works really good against those, you know, those Burrowed Roaches are the Observers. So it's not like you're unprepared for Burrow Roach if you're preparing for Lurkers. It's the exact same thing, basically. It's Immortals, and it's going to be Detection. Man, the Queens are all the way out here, too. This is a really nice creep spread. 4th base coming up from Stats now as DongRaeGu's is complete. And interesting. So Ravager's there, Burrow Roach here. Which, you think Stats sees this? You could see the distortion if he looks very closely. Oh my gosh, he's sneaking in. Oh my gosh, he's sneaking in. And then he's pressuring with the Ravagers. And at this point, I think Stats has to be like, where's the rest of the army? I know there was more stuff than this, and guess where it is? It's in your natural mineral line. It's in your main mineral line. Oh no, 5, 6 roaches going down. The immediate warp in inside the house to defend against these shenanigans. So these roaches didn't do much. They didn't even get the cannon, which ends up getting 3 kills, which is great. The Ravager's poking up the other way here, and yeah, that's the problem. Oh, the burrowed roaches are still here. An observer comes out, though, and suddenly, well, you've been spotted. You might as well pop up and start killing stuff, man. 4th base, under attack here. Oh, if he knew this was here. If DongRaeGu knew this was here, he would shut it down so hard. The roach are just trying to hide, is what they're doing. Oh, man, he doesn't know. But, I mean, if he kills right here, he's fine. That's a free... Storm's done. That's a free Immortal. This is a pretty big, scary Roach Ravager army. Like, this is maxed out Roach Ravager on 4 bases. And DongRaeGu is not content at just sitting back and defending. Oh, the Burrow increasing the healing recharge rate on these Roaches. Oh, he depowers both Robos and a Warp Gate and the Cyber Core. Is he just going to win this right now? Dude, DongRaeGu is absolutely pushing stats on his back foot. He discovered the 4th base. That's exciting stuff. Oh, yeah. No. Zealots are going to do against this. There's +1 attack on these Roaches. That cannon needs to get focused real bad. Immortal dying would be really good, too. And he's going to get it, actually. Shield battery had been depleted previously. The recharge! The overcharge on the shield battery. Really big storm all over the place. But the High Templar are not in a good position. They're storming as well as they can. They're forced to be merged into Archons. The marching into the front door. Oh, the Protoss natural base is not going well. Another pylon down, but the backup is here. Both Robos are pumping Immortals as fast as they can at the moment. Dude, is stats going to hold here? There are reinforcements coming in, but are there enough of them? I mean, it's a lot of stuff for sure. War Prism comes home. I think it was planning on doing some stuff. I don't think it actually did. This Roach. Yeah, take that, Zealot. Ah. Burrow, hide, recharge. Alright, so the 4th base of stats goes down, while DongRaeGu has a 5th base rolling right now. Income is definitely favoring the Zerg player. He didn't kill stats there, but by golly, it was bad news bears for stats. He's going to get probably a couple cannons here. You're going to get a Warp Gate. Production facilities getting knocked down for Protoss is really good for the Zerg player here, too. Hydralisks in production, getting range for those Hydras. This Roach, the Mortal casually strolls up and massacres it. It was a massacre, after all. Is that another Immortal down? I think it might be. Huh. Alright, cool. So, yeah, DongRaeGu is up. The War Prism continues to try to sneak into the main, but DongRaeGu is too smart for that. He's got Roaches on retainer for that very purpose. He's going to be able to hold it. So Roach Ravager, I mean, it's got a bit of a shelf life. Against Terran, it's about 10 to 12 minutes. And then it really starts to fall apart against Terran if Terran's going bio. Against Protoss, they've got longer with it. Especially if there's good Corrosive Vials, especially with good micro like this. Depowers a Warp Gate there, too. The pressure is for real right now. I'm going to get an Archon. Almost got an Archon. Dude, 79 shields on that Archon. This is, again, DongRaeGu. Aggressive. Aggressive Zerg. I like him so much. The Storms are absolutely keeping stats alive right now. There we go. Zealots warp it into this 5th base. There's spines there, and there are... Oh, where's the Roaches? Where's the Roaches in the main? DongRaeGu's going for the kill, man. He doesn't have anything in the main base to defend against this all of a sudden. Wait, the Roaches are here. Get on out. Queen Snipe, that's about it. I'm sure DongRaeGu can absorb that. But yeah, this is stats. Down about 50 supply, and just enduring. Holding off with Storm, with Immortals. And pushing in another Storms from the low ground, though. Oh my gosh, there's so much Storm. Okay, that went from a 198 supply to 140 or 156 supply for DongRaeGu. He just got obliterated in army supply there. All the Roaches and Ravagers died. They were in a tight confined space. The Storms found them, and the Storms did their terrible damage. Trying to get Lurkers into play here. Burrowed now. There we go. Spine's good. Are you have enough Immortals? You might have enough Immortals to handle these Lurkers, y'all. Oh, the counterattack from stats, though. Ooh, Archon sniped. It was very low on shields anyway. But this Immortal High Templar play doesn't seem super sustainable in the long run. Like, yes, Immortal good unit, but with Hydra sitting back there smashing you. The Warp Prism Micro is sick out of stats, but not enough, it turns out. And that Immortal dies. This Immortal dies. Actually gets saved by the Warp Prism. 4th base replanted by stats, which is great. But it's 174 to 112 total supply. Dude, the Storm. This has been a game of Storms, ladies and gentlemen. Warp Prism sniped. Big deal right there. Taking that sucker down. Reinforcements and juggling not going to be a play anymore. And good game, DongRaeGu. comes out on top in 14 minutes and 53 seconds of game 1 here. I want to say just with superior macro. Like, dude, he lost 11 workers in the first 5 minutes of this match, and it didn't matter. He ends up losing a total of 18 drones. The income is largely favoring him for the last 7 minutes with a slight, well, 10 minutes, with a slight dip into the blue there for stats. He just went Roach, Ravager, lost 34 Ravagers, lost 21 Hydras, lost 87 Roaches, had 4,000 more resources lost than stats in this game. Did not matter. Just overwhelmed and overwhelmed and overwhelmed. And if you keep the Protoss on the back foot, you're going to have a better time with it. It's just, that's just the law of the jungle here, is if you keep the Protoss from crushing your bases and you're killing theirs and their production the whole time, you're probably going to win the game. It was a little bit scary there when DongRaeGu's entire army got wiped out and stats was able to counter, but there were Hydras already out, turning into Lurkers, reinforcing Roaches and Hydras are coming all the time, and that's what mattered. +2 missile attack was done, +1 armor versus only +2 attack for stats. The storms were brilliant, but DongRaeGu was just too much. Just too much. God, that was fantastic. All right, so that's game 1 of our best of 3 today. Hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. Let's move into game number 2, and we'll be right back with that one. Game 2 is here on Golden Wall. Bottom right, stats. Bottom left, DongRaeGu. This map is going away, and I'm gonna miss it. It's a weird map that StarCraft 2 players do not veto. And I think it means that it deserves to be in the next season. And anyway, I'm gonna miss it. So here we go. Bottom left, DongRaeGu. Bottom right, stats. Red versus blue here. And this is an attempt at a hatch block. So let's see how DongRaeGu handles this. Well, he sends the drone down about the time and then goes, fine, I'll take my third up here, I guess. Which is actually not, I don't know, not really a given situation to take your third base up here. I mean, a lot of the time we've seen certain players take this gold because there's really not much the Protoss can do about it. It's high risk, but not exactly, I don't know, not much the Protoss can do to mess with it there. He checks to see if it's at the gold, and he finds it up here and says, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Got a gateway coming up back home, so I can't exactly cannon this, although that would be fairly awesome. But no, that's not happening at all. And so far, stats playing this pretty straight up. I mean, a little bit of probe harass, but other than that, not really interested in trying to kill DongRaeGu quickly, which is fine. I'm not going to complain about it. Totally fine here. Cyber core timing is about now. There it is. And so far, so good. So hey, can't monetize this channel yet. You may have noticed there are no commercials here. I do still have the Patreon. The Patreon is just going to support me in general. Whether you're a StarCraft 2 fan or a Brood War fan, just patreon.com/Falcon Paladin. If you feel like supporting me for a little bit while this channel is not monetized whatsoever, feel free to do so. If you'd rather just make a one-time donation, you can do that in PayPal, just at falconpaladin@gmail.com. You can send me Bitcoin if you're into that. I'm not exactly requesting it, but some people have been like, I want to send you $100 in Bitcoin. How do I do it? And I'm like, sure, here, I guess. I had somebody donate $5 of Bitcoin to me back in 2012, and that's turned into like $100 now. So, it's not bad. It's a pretty decent investment, I suppose. I have no idea what to do with it, however. It's a bit of a problem with the whole thing. Stargate coming up from stats. All right. Also, we do have the Falcon Paladin Hour. It's a weekly podcast with myself and Somicron. We're actually broadcasting it live on Twitch weekly. Twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. If you want to come hang out and watch us do the podcast and ask us questions live and stuff, it's usually about 9 p.m. Eastern in U.S. time. So that's going to be, again, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Somicron, SOMICRON, if you want to hang out there. You can. Also, merch, falconpaladin.store is a good way to support the channel directly if you're interested in that, but enough plugging. What's happening? Stats, you going for crazy adepts again? It doesn't seem like it, no. But Phoenix first, and then probably an Oracle, or maybe just a lot of Phoenix. But this is, again, a bunch of Lings from DongRaeGu. You know what? I notice Protoss hate it when a lot of Lings show up and try to murder stuff. And we're not wrong about that, DongRaeGu. But 3 Adepts in a wall is really enough to hold this off without question. I suppose they also there to make sure a quick third isn't possible, which I can definitely support, making sure that doesn't happen. So, Oracle on the way while this Phoenix takes 800 shots to kill the Overlord. Oracle name is Annoying Ladder Systems. Emperor Menk's Love League of Cakewalks 2. A Battle Royale MOBA tower defense racing rhythm cooking game. However, he was forever in Bronze League due to his sheer incompetence. I mean, what I mean by that is how terrible his teammates are. For forever lumping him in with people above, I mean below his own skill level, Emperor Menks shot the code into space, where the Protoss stuffed it into an Oracle because they are just simply out of ideas. So Annoying Ladder Systems here. For stats, I think a lot of StarCraft players can empathize with the concept of annoying ladder systems. So here we go. We're going to end up getting a couple drones here. 3 drones is about what you could expect in that situation when there's only 1 queen and a spore there. If you want 2 spores and a queen, that shuts it down. But also, that's quite an investment. And as it stands, he was already defending his front door. So he's also trying to connect his creep all the way up to his third, which she's virtually there. I mean, that's... We're going to call that connected, I think. But yeah, additional Phoenix on the way. So we're 2 starport Phoenixing here from stats. And sneaking a 3rd base back behind. So he mined out, took his backdoor base, which is totally normal. I mean, it's not super standard, but totally doable here on this map. Not that it matters, because it's gone. Regardless, GSL is still using it, because GSL will use the same map pool for all of GSL, even if they switch up the ladder map pool in the middle of it. Because GSL is months and months and months per season. Crazy times. Alright, so how do you deal with a lot of Phoenix? Well, a bunch of Hydras will work. If you get a critical number of Hydras, the Phoenix can't do anything about it. Additionally, extra spores are really nice. Extra queens are really nice. And you know what? I don't really see much of that happening here. So a couple drones go down, 3 drones down there. The Phoenix have made themselves known. So Hydralisk Den on the way, making +1 attack missile. 4 Dem Hydralisks. DongRaeGu taking a 4th base up the top left. And spreading creep out this way too. This creep tumor should probably go there. Phoenix cruising around on a Sunday trying to find bases. Because that means that's where there's drones to kill, and that's where there are queens as well. Free Overlord there. And supply blocking the Zerg is a very legitimate strategy if you're trying to kill him. Supply blocking anybody's a good strategy, but Zerg happen to have them in Overlord format. So the Phoenix doing what they can. These Overlords are huddled up here in the natural base, trying to stay alive as well as they can. And yeah, the Phoenix are they're trying to find an angle where they can kill drones without taking hits from that spore. You know what? They found a good angle there. 6 drones, 8 drones going down. Never mind, there's the 3rd base. I'm like, no 3rd base. Of course, the 3rd base down here, which the Lings do not know about. This is not something which DongRaeGu is familiar with. That's a lifted kill on these queens. They're not supported by any spores. Queen down is really nice. It's a nice pick off there. It's anti-air, it's injects, it's creep spread. It means so much to the Zerg player. The Oracle Annoying Ladder Systems, after he got it 3 drone kills, are just patrolling this area. Trying to make sure no Hydras wander across the map and try to kill him, because honestly, like 12 Hydras would kill him. At least force the Phoenix to come home, which they were forced to come home. I guess there is a critical number of Hydras out at this point. Yeah, there's a good number of Hydras on the map now. We're looking at 7 with more coming all the time. This Oracle has a different patrolling path now. Very fancy. Stats is getting Psionic Storm, which if you're not getting Storm against Zerg, you're probably going to lose a lot. And if you're getting Storm, you're probably going to win a lot. Yeah, Mass Phoenix is so annoying. So, I mean, the trick here in 1v1 is you can't go Mass Phoenix, because then you don't have anything that can kill Zerg buildings and then you die. But man, in team games, if one of the players goes Mass Phoenix, they can absolutely lock down a couple Zergs by themselves and just take them out of the match. And then your other two, your other teammates can do a lot of good work in that situation, and they make the ground army. So annoying to deal with, for sure. Because the Phoenix don't have to engage with anything. They can run away from your Hydras, they can run away from your Corruptors and your Mutalisks. They'll kill your Mutas anyway. That might be a recall out scenario up here, bud. You're hiding, but I don't know if you're getting out. I mean, I guess you could sneak down this left side, maybe. Ah, I love this. Stats is just expanding down this way. DongRaeGu is taking this gold, but little does he know that Stats lives... Oh, he knows. He knows that Stats lives down here, and he's expanding here anyway. So you got to worry about Adepts showing up back behind your mineral line and whacking your drones, I guess. So basically, you're forcing the Zerg player to go Hydra at this point. I guess they could try to go Corruptors, but Phoenix are surprisingly good against Corruptors in numbers. Ooh, one Phoenix did just die there to a Spore, which you want to keep these Phoenix alive as much as you can. They are, again, because you can run away from everything. You don't have to engage with anything at all. And as a result, you could keep them alive indefinitely. Stats is going for them carriers because it's a Phoenix opening. Why not? You've got the Stargates. You don't have to. We've seen players definitely open Phoenix and then move into a ground like Immortal Storm-based combo. But as it stands, we're getting Storm and we're getting carriers because why not? Lurkers on the way from DongRaeGu. So there's this window, right? There's a window here where Lurkers are going to be awesome. And then the carriers will be out. And then suddenly the Lurkers will be bad. So let's see how this works out for DongRaeGu. He's maxed out, 195 to 163 total supply. Zealots heading up. I'm going to guess they're going to go for the 4th base. We're going to take a very, very roundabout route to get there. Lings, no. Did he draw? Oh, he's mining out this wall. Interesting idea. And another base from DongRaeGu. So we are absolutely macroing our faces off right now. DongRaeGu is maxed out. He's going for a 6th base here at 10 minutes. He's got an armor supply of 104. It includes Hydralisks, and it includes Lurkers. And a couple Phoenix. Dude, 3 Phoenix die there. That's brutal. Zealots are, again, they have speed. They're all the way up this way. There are spines coming up. There's a window where the Zealots can whack this base entirely, but if they wait for the spines to finish, they're going to have a harder time with it. Mothership coming in. Handful of Hydras. That's 3 Hydras, man. You're not taking down a cannon wall like that. And look, the spines are popping. And suddenly the Zealots don't have as much work to do without, you know, getting killed by spine crawlers. Whoa! We're just forcing our way up here, huh? Okay. So we're just burrowing the Lurkers in range of cannons and stuff. That's fine. Defensive storms have arrived, and guess what else has arrived? The carriers have arrived. And the Hydras are just not going to cut it. Look at the storm, though. Oh, did they sneak? They snuck back around. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so DongRaeGu retreats in shame from that position. The Zealots actually got through the spines, and some of their friends are dead. But they're going to kill this hatchery. It sure seems like it. Hydra's having a great day, man. 6 kills, 4 kills, 3 kills. Seems like you don't really need a storm on these guys. There's only 3 of them. And you lose a Zealot, but that's totally fine. And behold, the Sky Toss push. DongRaeGu's still going Hydras. I don't support this. If you have enough Hydras and there aren't, you know, 9, 10, 11, 12 carriers, okay. Alright, you could do this, but we're getting to the point where you're double pumping carriers, with the mothership on the way, the Hydras are not really going to be the answer. You need Corruptors at some point versus these carriers. It just forces you down a particular tech path. And there we go. Double Spire coming up back home for DongRaeGu. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. And once again, we're just going to Lurker Hydra our way up into this natural base, smash our face onto it, kill some workers, try to take down this natural, and there we go. Again, the Hydras alone I don't think are enough here, but combined with the Storm, it's just brutal. DongRaeGu, I think, just might be dead here. Oh, you know what? Hang on, hang on, hang on. The Hydras do have +3 attack. And as maybe without the Storms, the Hydras are enough to kill these Interceptors. There are 15 Interceptors in the sky right now, which is definitely not max if you're looking at 9 carriers. That math does not add up at all for the Sky Toss. The good news for DongRaeGu is he's replaced his 4th base. He's sitting here at 80 workers. His income has been favoring him for most of the match here, the last 10 minutes especially. And he's making 12 more Lurkers. I don't I traditionally do not know if I agree with this concept of lurkers here. Hydras, lurkers, dancing around, and here's the dance we see when there's Protoss. DongRaeGu is expanding here. Love that. Loving that. I gotta say, I don't feel good about these chances from DongRaeGu, but he's going for 1-1 for his flying units here. He's probably going to replace the supply with Corruptors when this all dies, because this is really intended to all die. Hydras in a land of carriers and storm is just not, it's not going to work out for them in the long run. It never does. So when they die, you replace it with carriers. You're trying to build up a bit of a gas bank. Both players are at this point, as they're both effectively maxed out. Those changelings just expired at the end of their time. They did become zealots, though, which is fine. And again, just storm. That's it. The carriers get here in time. It's really not that far down from this third base, up, or that fourth base, rather, up to the front door of the natural. It's really nice and compact. I like the setup here for stats. It's very smart base planning on his part. The Hydras are, again, just attacking interceptors. There's a point at which you can just attack interceptors and wipe them out without attacking the carriers directly, but you know what? I don't know that we're there yet. That is so many interceptors in the Hydras. Lurkers, get out of there. Creep Tumor's getting wiped out here too. This carrier group has done some terrible, terrible damage. And they're trying to replace their interceptors as well, which, sure, that's fantastic. Spore Crawlers trying to do what they can, but there aren't a lot of them here. Okay, there's more down in this area for sure. Zealots heading up to the top left to kill the space again. There are more spines for that this time, though. And he let those spines finish right under him and then pretty much instantly killed them, so I think that's okay. So Zealots, yeah, no, there are more spines now. Just blindly sending Zealots into that base is not going to accomplish a whole lot. But seriously, resources lost here, 21,000 for DongRaeGu and 13,000 for stats. It is a big-time discrepancy. And he's, I don't know, man, he's not making any more Corruptors, that's for sure. Any Corruptors, let alone more Corruptors. Don't ya know? And the Lurker Hydra army, trying to find good use for themselves, is going to march into this third base and try to wipe it out. Some defensive storms are here. DongRaeGu's sixth base is under a lot of trouble now. Up to the north, it's far away. Trying to make sure a recall doesn't happen. Focusing down the Nexus. First of all, these probes are not in a good place. Lurkers burrowing on in, and all of the High Templar just get spined right to death. But, bam, fourth base down for third base down for DongRaeGu, rather. We're base trading at this point. I don't know if it's a full-on base race yet, but definitely we are base trading. I cannot believe these probes are alive. He sees them. Just not directly killing them right now. Does he know about this? He doesn't. He doesn't know about this. He would have killed it if he'd known about that. Oh. I don't think the Hydras aren't going to do it. Especially with the upgrades that the air units have here, where they have +2 attack. And there are so many carriers. Dude, if he knew about this, how does he not? It's a gutsy place. It's technically DongRaeGu's side of the map, but Stats is just taking it. Taking it for his own. Hive down. Spires are going to die. Not that they were used for anything. He's trying to get some Vipers out, but I don't know. You know, +3 Hydras can totally chew through the healing that a shield overcharge is doing. He's like, all right, maybe this. Is this your source of income right here? And surprise, it's not. It's this thing. Which he still doesn't know about. So the Vipers with the Abduct are going to be better in this situation. But it's only 147 supply for DongRaeGu. Stats is up. Well, not up, but he's at 138 supply. His carrier group is 12, which, again, that's the number we're looking at when Hydras don't really cut it. The Lurkers are trying to be in here to deal with this ground army. He's trying to fight with the Spores as well. But, yeah, it's just Time Warp isn't really even necessary here. And that's your good game. Stats ends up winning it. DongRaeGu for Some forsaken reason thinks, you know what I need to do here today? Hiders. Hiders are not the answer to carriers. I don't know why he decided to go for them without transitioning into corruptors, but hey, stats 1, and that's all that matters. He had 1 mining base that DongRaeGu still did not know about at the end of the game. 39,000 resources lost to 25,000. That is a big discrepancy here. 241 interceptors went down, but guess what? No carriers died. They're just like Phoenix. You can keep them alive if you're careful with them. How many Hydras died? 112. That's a big number. 74 drones. 5 hatcheries went down. 3 Nexuses died. I mean, a lot of tech. The Vipers didn't do anything in this game. Maybe you could have tried to abduct or parasitic bomb or something, but no. So Stats comes out on top in game numero dos there. And ka-chow. What a boss. What an absolute fantastic win there from the Protoss, as we knew he had it in him. So we're tied up, moving into game number 3 of this best of 3 for your Sunday series. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's move right along. Game 3 is here on Eternal Empire. Bottom left stats, top right DRG. And this is a rubber match. It was from the group stages. So if you win this, you move on, and if you lose this, you're going home. Back to the wall, both of these players. Hello, Male Carrick. How are you doing today? Anyway, but for real, if you haven't subbed yet, I would personally request that you do. I'm not really huge into sub numbers on the other channel, but that is a gateway. I don't know. I just want this channel to be recommended to other viewers who are looking for StarCraft 2 stuff. I know the StarCraft 2 casting market is incredibly saturated right now with, you know, Hearthstone doing stuff and Pig's YouTube channel taking off and Florencio and all that stuff. So, thank you for watching me today. I really appreciate it. 16, 18, 17, 1 gate expand. It's safe and economical, and that's pretty much what players are looking for these days. And have been looking for a long time. What are we doing? Anything cool? Not at all. Very standard stuff. Anyway, hope you're all having a good Sunday. It was a pretty darn good one for me as well. Oh, I'm actually out playing the StarCraft 2 campaign, twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. About 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock Eastern time on Sundays, if you want to watch me do that. I'm doing Heart of the Swarm right now, which is the Zerg campaign on Brutal. I finished up Wings of Liberty on Brutal a couple of weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. I struggle with it because Terran is probably my weakest race, personally. But Zerg, I don't know. It's either it's the easiest one or I'm just more familiar with Zerg, and so beating it on Brutal is not a big deal. But a lot of people that I've read have said the same thing. If you're doing a Brutal playthrough, the Zerg one, if you're relatively competent with all 3 races, is the easiest. Just in general. They didn't do a lot to make it super difficult on you, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the AI is not very good at spellcasters. And if you're going to beat Zerg, yeah, what you need is really good Storm, right? You need things like steady targeting. And it's just across the board, the AI is not very good at any of those things. And they just try to overwhelm you. But if you're a Zerg player, being overwhelmed is not a huge deal because you're used to overwhelming other players, and you can out macro it too. Like, so it's a tough situation for the programmers to be like, how do we, without the use of really great micro and spellcasters, how do we take down a Zerg player on the Brutal campaign? And it's like, I don't know, man. I guess more stuff. And that's kind of what they went with. Anywho, Oracle on Zive. Is that Oracle before Phoenix? It is, actually. So, Oracle on the way. Baked potato. A hot, steamy baked potato topped with melted cheese, bacon chips, and sliced scallion. I was apparently hungry when I posted this one. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong, whoever came up with that Oracle name. That sounds delicious. Makes me want a steak with it. Like, I haven't had a good steak in a long time because of the shutdowns. But a lot of places are open for takeout, and I'm wondering, Oh, man. I'm wondering if maybe I could get a good steak from a takeout. Like, a steakhouse that's doing takeout now. Like, they normally wouldn't, right? It's like an upscale steakhouse, but they're doing takeout because of the COVID times. I wonder if I could get a good steak that way, or if it would just, like, the drive home would ruin it. You know what I mean? Or getting it delivered. The delivery time would ruin it. Let me know if you have any experiences with that. Like, if you've had any experience with doing takeout steak. Second Oracle here, so a little bit dangerous for DongRaeGu. I don't know who wins this, by the way. I have no idea who comes out on top. I did not watch this series when it was happening, and I didn't watch the replays before I cast them. So Adepts actually shut down all mining here at the third base for just a second. The Oracles are going to cruise in to the natural, but there's 3 Queens ready to rock. The 3 Queens can handle 2 Oracles pretty effectively. Yeah, good to micro, good to micro. Both players bringing their wounded units back and keeping them alive. And yeah, nothing dies there. So good hold by DongRaeGu. Robotics facility warping in and a Twilight Council. So it looks like we're going for some straight ground stuff here. Charge lots, Storm. Immortals. All good ingredients if you're trying to take down a Zerg player as a Protoss player. Third base coming in here too from stats. About halfway complete at 5 minutes. It's pretty aggressive. Not going to complain about it too much here. Do you have any kills at all, you guys? Man, 2 Oracles and no kills is just shameful. That's what it is. This third base, once again, very weakly defended. The Oracles aren't defending it. And there's one... Okay, there's an Adept with a shield battery now. So that actually feels like it's probably enough. Adept's 2-shotting the Lings, right? 2-shotting the Lings, getting healed up by a shield battery the whole time. It's going to be hard for this number of Lings to really do anything in that location. And the wall is not technically... Okay, it's complete now. Mineral walking through that Stalker at the natural base. So DongRaeGu doing a great job shutting down the harass attempts. Here from stats, looking really good at it as well here. 4 free shots. 2 drones do go down, but acceptable losses from DongRaeGu. DongRaeGu is taking the Rich Vespine gas base, which I've seen a lot of times. Protoss get up on this high ledge and ruin your mineral gathering here, and gas gathering too. And it's not a good time. Lings, I just know. There's too many. There's Zealots, there's Adepts, there's Oracles. No Lings. Bad Lings. Get out of there. Make more Lings, maybe. I don't know. 1-1 is coming in, and it's actually melee attack finishing up here, which indicates to me, I mean, maybe trying to go Ultras at some point, but it also could just be for the Zerglings. That +3 attack for Lings makes them very good against things like Zealots and, you know, Adepts. Makes them a little better against Archons and Immortals, too. So creep connecting all the bases, and DongRaeGu is actually taking this high ground. So it's going to be a little bit hard. Again, I've seen Protoss players wander up this way, kill this base, and then have high ground advantage over the 4th, too, and it's just a bad time. Lings trying to go for a run by, and they'll probably get through depending on the warping cycle available here. Oracle going to try to shut it down. Stats pushing in. Dude, where's your stuff? 4th, just, I mean, who needs it? Who needs to worry? The Lings kind of got in. There's a couple here in the main, but Oracle cleans them up pretty darn effectively. There's the warp-in. Big-time, aggressive, scary timing attack out of stats. This is how you beat Zerg players sometimes, is this kind of timing attack stuff. Man, Archons, Zealots only defending here. Archqueens, there are no Banelings ready to go yet. And bam! Stats comes out on top. The Banelings finally explode and kill some of the Zealots, but only after the game is over. Dang. That was a dead impressive little timing attack. 7.5 minutes. 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Somehow drones are dying. Like, apparently somebody's in here. Stats hasn't left the game yet. How is this continuing to tick up? How are upgrades finishing? And there it is. Oh, okay. I guess if Trados is watching, that's a problem. So, yeah, man. Timing attack. Like, if we go back... Let's go back and look at this, I guess. Okay, so here's our Archons. He does see this. DongRaeGu sees this happening. And at this point in time, he has 19 Zerglings. It's his entire army. And, like, a bunch of these Lings are down here trying to get in this natural base. So there's nothing to defend this but a handful of Queens. and a couple banelings, and he's making a bunch more banelings here. So he's trying to make baneling ling against this. What's he got for the Archons? No Roach Warren, no nothing. I think he was just too greedy. He went for that 5th base. Oh, look at that force fielding. I didn't even notice that. That's sick. The drones are trying to run. No, not happening. Banelings largely exploding on Archons, which is exactly what Stats wants to happen. Those drones actually escaped. They got totally trapped, and then they escaped. And he just follows it up here. Another group of Banelings is trying to come up, and it takes a little bit too long. The Archons are just tearing through everything. And that's it. That's all she wrote. That's a 14-kill Archon, a 7-kill Archon, and an 11-kill Archon. The Adepts with 4 kills each there. 3 kills on that one. Zealots doing some work buffering, making sure the Lings aren't going to be out of hand here. And DongRaeGu is entirely unprepared for that assault. Incredible. Wow. Incredible, incredible stuff. All right. Well, good stuff there. Oh, Maynard was watching that. What's up, Maynard? Good guy. Australian. Yeah. So stats. Stats wins with carriers. Stats wins with Archons and Zealots and Adepts and Immortals and all sorts of great stuff that way. Ends up doubling up the resources lost there for DongRaeGu. Not great, as War Prism actually died to the Queens, which is a little bit sloppy. And no Immortals either, just Archon Zealot. What an interesting composition here. I'm really shocked at 7.5 minutes DongRaeGu did not even have a Roach Warren. Like, you're going to hold this with Ling Banelings? Seriously? You shouldn't. You shouldn't be able to, and this base was just too greedy, I think. 4th base alone, you don't take this, and maybe don't saturate as hard as he did. He's able to hold this and then expand, and he's in a better position. Amazing. Absolutely amazing stuff. 70 Lings died. 69 Zerglings died. Haha, funny number, as my 12-year-old says. And then upgrades there, +1 attack for each. Lings and Banelings with a +1 attack. Not enough. Just not enough stuff. Really, at all. And I think that's what it comes down to a lot of the time, is how much stuff does one person have? All right, amazing. So cool. So you know what? That's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Sunday series. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, please, if you enjoyed and liked what you saw here today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.